Hi everyone, welcome back to the Webdriver tutorial series, and this is day 4. So in the previous tutorial, we have learned till CSS Selector, okay, and the basic part of CSS Selector was done. Just to revise, what we have learned is the syntax. So the syntax is basically the tag name. If the tag is having ID, you can write #ID. If you want to use a class name to identify elements, you can just simply write dot class. If that element is having multiple classes, you want to combine, combine both the classes to look at one element uniquely using the both classes. We say again dot, and we write another class name, that is CLS2. And if you don't want to use ID, you don't want to use class, if you want to use any other attribute than ID and class, then we write attribute equal to the value. Okay, so this is the syntax.
Tag name, #ID, class, dot class, again dot class, attribute. You can use any one of this element. For example, if I'm only writing div, this is also a write CSS, it will select all the div tags. If I say, hash USER1, if I say user1, so it will select all the elements which are having attribute ID equal to user1. Okay, so if I say hash user1, this is going to select a HTML tag which has ID is equal to user1. Let's say if I'm saying dot let's say error, so it will select all the element which has class is equal to ERR. That class is containing ERR. Containing means that it is actually a class name. All right, so but there is an alternative. Let's say if you want to use only div, instead of using CSS selector, you can simply say that by dot tag name, and there you can specify div, for locating element. Same is the case with by user ID, by dot, sorry, okay, by dot ID, and the ID is user1. Okay, for class also we have option by dot class name, you can say error. Okay, so okay, I will write better code. By dot CSS selector div. Okay, so it's same as by dot tag name. This is what I want to tell you. Yeah, we will be going through the various examples, but for now I wanted to clear you, on this front. And the things that we cannot do using directly by dot tag name or by dot ID, by dot class name is we can actually combine this multiple thing and write into one CSS selector. Now, for example, I wanted to say that a div having ID as U1 and class as CLS2, CLS3. Okay, so for that the locator is going to be something like this. Tag name is div, ID starts with hash, ID is U1, and the class name is, that is dot CLS3. Class means class starts with dot. So this is going to be a CSS selector. So More precisely, you will write something like this: by.css selector. Okay, and this you can use it for any operation. Now let's say I wanted to click there, so I will write something like this, driver dot find element. Okay, and find element we will pass object of by. That object you will get it from by.css selector static method. We already learned in the Webdriver D1, and there I'm going to write the CSS selector. Okay, on that element you can perform any operation. Perfect. So driver.find element by.css selector. This is the way you will use CSS selector. Now let's say you have input type equal to password. Okay, and you want to locate this element, this HTML tag. Can anyone tell me what are the different CSS selectors that you can write for locating this element? You can post it on the chat window. What attribute and value? Varsha says attribute and value. Okay. Attribute and value. Okay, fine. The first CSS selector that you can write is, the different locators that you can write is actually by dot tag name. You can say that input. Okay, but this may not locate. This may not locate element uniquely, because the chances of having input tag on your web page, there are more chances to have so many input tags on your web page. So another option is, what I will say is by dot CSS selector. I will use this third option. I can actually use this option, attribute and value combination. So by CSS selector, the attribute name is type and the value is password. So type equal to, in single quote I'm writing, in single quote, okay, password and single quote complete. Okay, this has to go in square bracket. Square bracket indicates, this is the attribute and value. Okay, all right. So I hope it is clear, guys. You have any questions so far? Let me know if you have any questions, so that I can answer those queries. So let's take an example. If we want to inspect this Mr. button on your web page, you just need to simply right click, say inspect. You should be able to see the input, input tag with type equal to radio, because for radio button the type has to be radio in HTML. Okay, and so it is the input tag, attribute equal to radio, name equal to ID gender, ID equal to ID gender, and name equal to 1. So what I will do is, if I want to inspect that first radio button, which is the Mr. So it has ID, let's try using ID, check whether this ID is unique or not. So I'm saying hash, because it is ID and ID starts with hash. Hash ID underscore gender 1. And as you can see that one element is shown. That means, okay, one element got selected. So this is one option. You can go with ID, or you can go with name as well. But in Selenium we have by.name option. In Selenium we have by.name option. But in CSS selector, okay, we have to use name as an attribute. So let's say you want to use a name in CSS selector. So this is the syntax to use name. Okay, so this is the syntax for using a name in a CSS selector. But if you directly want to use that name, with by, you can use that, by dot name, just calling the static method name on the by abstract class. So it will return you the element. This you can use it for locating element which has this name. So let's come back and use the CSS syntax. So I'm using a CSS syntax to confirm, how many elements are having name is equal to, what was that? Sorry. Okay, this is the name, right? Yeah, it is just ID gender. Let's check, how many elements are there with the name. Name equal to single quote, ID, gender, single quote, and square bracket. So how many elements are there? There are 2 elements. Okay, basically there are 2 elements matching with name equal to ID gender. So this is the way you can check, is your locator is unique or not, how many elements are getting matched. You can simply say that enter and enter. So there are 2 radio buttons getting selected. This has ID name equal to ID gender. This radio button also has name equal to ID gender. And by making the same name to both of the radio button, okay, it actually creates a group. So as you can see that only one value can be selected at a time. The reason is these radio buttons are under one group and the group name is ID gender. So it is very simple, just having 2 input tag with the same name, makes actually one group. So both the radio buttons are coming from a one group, and at a time only one value can be selected from that radio button because they have same name. I hope it is clear. So to uniquely locate this radio button, you can go with ID equal to gender, or you can go with value is equal to 2 or value equal to 1. You can see that, right? Value is equal to 1, value is equal to 2 is also there. So just to check, if it is unique, if I'm saying attribute value equal to, in single quote I'm saying 1. So how many matching nodes are found? There are 8 matching nodes are found. So you can't use this as like unique locator. Let's say I want to filter it out, I want to say that tag name has to be input. Okay, initially if you don't say tag name, the total count is 8. But now what I'm saying is I'm saying the tag name has to be input and attribute value equal to 1. Then the count is reduced to 5 from 8. So 3 elements, are not having input tag name as an input. Okay, there is a question from Sagar. Can we use both name and values? So yes, we can use multiple attributes to locate an element, and to do that, you just keep on adding square bracket. Let's say I want to use name is equal to ID underscore gender. Now, as you can see that, I'm using three attribute, 3 things here. First, the tag name has to be input. Second, the attribute value should be 1. And third, the attribute name has to be ID underscore gender. So I'm using 3 things in one locator, in one CSS selector. So yeah, this is the way you can just keep on adding. Any other questions? I hope it is clear, how to use CSS selector. Okay, any questions? Let me know if you have any questions. I would like to answer your queries if you have any. Only CSS selector supports multiple attribute. No, Sagar. There is XPath also supports multiple attributes in locator. So CSS and XPath both are supporting that feature, because these 2 locators are considered as an advanced locator in Webdriver. Okay. I hope so far you got everything. So let's continue with a little bit more advanced into locator. Can I say only input is a locator? Can you say that input is a locator? is a CSS locator. I'm just saying input. Is it a CSS locator? Selector. Okay, majority people are replying as no, but guys, let me tell you, if you're only writing input, still it is a CSS selector. Okay, let's go back and see the syntax. Syntax is tag name, hash ID, hash. You can just omit this, other things, and only using a tag name is also valid. So for example, by.css selector div, it is similar like by.tag name div, and this is actually a CSS selector. So yes, it is valid even though you are giving a tag name simply as a CSS selector. It is absolutely valid. Okay, so in my case, let's go to here. I wanted to say that a tag name or a text area. So I'm saying comma, a tag name or a text area. So how many total matching elements are found? There are total 29 elements found. Let's say only text area. How many elements are there with only text area? So there are, oh no, this is a class. Okay, it is not a, this is like a normal text matching. Or simply take another example. I wanted to say that div or span. So just say comma, if you want to say or. So by saying div comma span, that means this is or, any tag which has tag name as a div or span, select that tag. So if I say enter, you see this is div, this is div. Let's search for span. Yeah, okay. You see this is a span is getting selected. This is the 11th element from 142. So even this will select all the divs and all the span tags, Hope it is clear. So the comma is used to specify or condition in CSS selector. I hope it is clear. Okay, so example is div comma span. So this will select both all divs and spans. Okay, hope it is clear. Let's move ahead, Let's move ahead to the second part of CSS selector, okay, which is little bit advanced. Now what I want to say is, I want to look at, 1, 2, 3, all of these three menus, including their submenus as well. Every menu has a submenu. So let's say inspect. Okay, it is selecting woman. It has title equal to woman. Class is sf hyphen with hyphen ul. It has href as well. Okay, there are three LIs. You can see that there are three LIs. Inside each LI there is again hyperlink and then ul. So I want a locator which will actually select all these three menus. Okay, because I want to check how many menus are there, something like that. I wanted to read all the menus, not uniquely. I don't want a unique locator, guys. Again, I'm repeating, I don't want a unique locator. I want a common locator for all these three menus. So what you can do is, see, let me inspect that woman first and see, it is actually a hyperlink. Okay, if you simply say hyperlinks, all hyperlinks, see what happens. I'm just saying all hyperlinks. Okay, all hyperlinks having href. So there are 148, there are 48 links, I guess. Yeah, there are 48 links. Okay. So as you can see, there are different types of links are coming up here. But I don't want all the links, What I want is, I want this woman, dresses and t-shirt menu. So let's inspect it again and see what is unique. I cannot use a tag simply. Okay, I cannot use, I'm not sure about the class. Let's try with the class. Okay, this is again 2 of 4 matching, 2 of 4 are matching. Only woman and dresses is getting matched, the t-shirt is not getting matched. Why is it so? So because t-shirt, this A do not have any class. You can see that it is not, t-shirt's not having any class. Okay, and what I want is, I want 1, 2, 3, this 3 element to be located using a one locator. So what I will do is, I will simply say first locate the parent. So this is a div. Okay, this is a div, and inside the div it has the ID block top menu. So let's locate this div uniquely. Okay, so I'm just copying that ID and check whether it is unique. Is it unique, guys? Yeah, it is unique. Now what I will do is, I got the parent element. So this is the parent element. Okay, let's make use of parent element to locate the elements which are inside my parent element. So if you want to say, if you want to search a element inside a parent tag, so simply say just UL. Okay, I'm just simply saying, the ID is this space UL. I'm saying space. Space means nested to that element. I want all the ULs which are present inside this element. Is it clear, guys? I want to select all ULs which are present inside element having ID block underscore top underscore menu. And the count is 5. So let's find out, Okay, that's 1. This is UL. Okay. This one is also UL. There is a next UL. And, this is the complete UL. This is the main UL kind of thing. This is main UL, and inside that there are 3 LIs. You see this first LI, second LI, third LI. So for every menu there is 1 LI. So for every menu there is 1 LI. So I want this, all these 3 menu. So what I will say is, instead of saying UL, if I say LI, guys tell me how many matching element? Is it 3 or is it 14? Yeah, there are 14 elements. The reason is, I said find out all the LIs which are present inside this parent. Okay, even though that LIs are present inside, let's take example. See, this is div, there is a LI, and this LI again contains UL and then LI. Okay, then LI. So you can see this LI is present inside this LI, and this LI is again present inside this div. So if you simply say that hash ID space another CSS locator, it is going to search that second CSS locator into the first one, under the first one. Okay, so this is how it works. What I want to say is, I don't want to say that direct LI. What I will say is, I want the direct child. So as you can see, this is the unique element. I have to select UL, and then inside that UL there are 3 childs. So LI, second LI, third LI. I want this 1, 2, 3 child. So how to do that? I'm going to use a greater than operator. Okay, I'm going to use a greater than operator. As you can see, first I said locate the element having this ID. Then I said greater than, it means immediate child. Greater than means immediate child. So to that element there has to be an immediate child with the name UL. Okay, and again inside that UL there has to be LI as an immediate child. So how many LIs are getting selected? 1, 2 and 3. So even though if there is a LI, there is a UL, and inside that UL there is again LIs, still those will not be get selected, because what I'm saying is, this is parent, then immediate child UL, immediate child LI. So I want all the LIs which are immediate child of UL, and that UL has to be immediate child of this ID tag. So that is the use of greater than sign. So greater than sign means the immediate child in CSS Selector. So in CSS Selector we have learned how to use a greater than sign. So this is, let's say example, the locator that I wrote is this one. So here I said, this is the parent element, and there has to be immediate child as ul, and that ul has, you need to have a immediate child as li. You can have some filter criteria as well. Let's say you can say something like this: clearfix is the class of ul. You can say ul dot clearfix. That means the element, this is the top element, okay, having immediate child as ul with classfix, clearfix, and that ul should have immediate child as lis. Now what I want to say is, I want to say that first child element, okay, because right now it is selecting all the three elements. I want to select the first child element. So in CSS selector, we simply write colon first child. Okay, so simply say that colon first child at the to that element, to that CSS selector. So now you can see that one of one is selected. This is just a one element which has first child. Similarly, let me copy that to Notepad. Okay, in the similar way we do it for the last child. Instead of first word, I will change that first to last. Okay, so you can use a CSS selector if you want that first child or the last child element. It's very easy. But if you want any element between the first and the last child, let's say I want third element, or let's say in my case I want the second element. Okay, so for that we use, again, there is in CSS selector there is an option, and now I'm saying nth child. I'm saying nth child. In the bracket you have to give number. Okay, so I'm saying nth child, and in that bracket I'm giving number. So that number means the index number. You can give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, till any number. Okay, so there is a question how to select the option of woman if there are multiple tabs. It's very easy. You can just select the first one, or you can just say first child. That's it, because right, that woman is the first child. First tag is going to be the first tag always. So yeah, this is, I hope I answered your query, Sagar. So now what we learn colon first child, we learn colon last child, we learn colon nth child, and there you can specify a number. Okay, there is a question from Sunil. Can we go for an example to extract all menus and submenus? So let's say you want to select all menus and submenus. So that is not very difficult. Let's give a try. In that case, what I simply say is, I will simply say just li. I want to say all the list item. So as I said, li. There is a first li. Okay, so this is the first li which will get selected. So let me go back. So which is the first li? First li is woman. Okay, I'm saying enter. See this next li. Next li is under woman. So if you have woman, this is the next li, and this li is having a value as tops. Can you see the tops as a sub nav? And inside the tops again there is a ul. Ul stands for unordered list, and that ul has two options, li and li. If you want, I can expand you that. See, the value is t-shirt, and here the value is blouses, I guess. Let me open that menu. See, t-shirt and blouses. So these are the two sub menu inside a top, and the top is inside a menu, woman. So now what I want to say is, I want to say that immediate child is ul, immediate child is li, and from that li I want to say that first li only. So I'm saying first child. Okay, so that woman is getting selected, woman menu is getting selected. I will say space, and then I will say li. So as you can see, there are 8 8 allies are selected under woman menu. It is just a simple space. So when I say space, space means child element. Okay, space, it means a child element, but at any nested level, not immediate child, not only immediate child. If you say space and then write a CSS selector, that means you are selecting some element which is at any level, nested level. So if I say li, then this is going to select woman, tops, dresses, as well as this two subnav. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and I'm actually expecting the 7 elements. The first one is this tops. Okay, there is a second element is t-shirt, third is blouses, fourth element is dresses, which is right, and then it has again 3 allies, and there is a fourth category as well, category thumbnail. What is this? It has again 2 elements. Let me see. Oh, I'm not able to see that UI because of this window. I'm sorry. Let's just move that here somewhere. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So this thumbnail images, you can see that designer collection save 50% and shoe collection save 20%. This is also a sub navigation. Okay, this is also allies, as you can see to the here. You can see that this ally, this is a div, which is actually an image, and both the images are present under one li. Okay, both images are present under one li. So that is the reason the count is 8. Okay, all right. I hope it is clear that how to find all this sub navigation menu of woman. So span immediate child. Okay, there is a CSS selector from Vaishali. Okay, let me show you that CSS selector. Oops, I have Notepad already open. Yeah, guys, can you tell me, is this valid? Okay, yeah, this is valid, right? I mean, this is the same thing which I copy pasted from the first line. Yeah, tell me this one, is it valid? So a span tag having immediate child as div nth child, not a square bracket. It has to be circular bracket, not square bracket. Okay, so I'm saying a span tag will have a second div child, and that second div child will have li. Sorry, you cannot say that colon li. Let's say if you want to say space, you can say space, or you can give greater than sign. That li tag with nth child. Now this is right. You can select the third li from the second div of a span tag, which is inside a span tag. Now this is valid. Any questions? Can we go for an example to extract all menus and sub navs? Okay, which is done. Any other questions? Can we have a group of elements so start with a parent and access the child? Yeah, we already did that, right? I mean, we started with a parent and then we reached till the end of the child elements to select. Okay, guys, again I'm telling you, CSS selector requires lots of practice. You cannot learn CSS selector within a 1 day or something. Most of the time we start using basics CSS selector or XPath. As we get more and more experience into Webdriver automation, we actually start using more and more detail and complex CSS selectors. So this is it. There are a few more things about the CSS selectors. One thing is I told you about the greater than sign, that means immediate child. Another thing is about space. So if instead of greater than sign, if you are only giving a space, that means any nested level. You know, UL is a child element at any nested level. Then next is siblings. Okay, or using some attribute, you know. So I want to say that href all elements whose href attribute is starting with http://. Okay, I want to say that all the href element, href means the hyperlinks, right? A tag and href equal to the link that we give. So all the hyperlinks whose link starting with http. So for that, you know, we will write locator something like this. So it is a href is an attribute. Okay, so I'm writing href is equal to you know, if I say equal to, that means it is exact match, right? http://. You will not get any element, you know, which is matching to href equal to http://. So what you have to say is, I want to say that href starting with. So for starting with, the syntax is we write cap equal to, you know, this cap sign is equal to the starting with. So how many elements are there which whose href is starting with http:// guys? Can you see that number? So there are so many elements whose href is starting with http:// and the number you can see is 166. Very good, Varsha. The number is 166, as you can see. Now I want to filter it out. You know, right now you can see that link tag is getting selected. I don't want link tag. I want only hyperlinks. So just add the tag name, you know, before. So starting, this is a tag name. Now 166 is reduced to 158, and all this 158 links are starting with http://. Now I want to say that how many hyperlinks are there which are starting with https. So simply say that https, and there are only 4 links which are starting with https. You know, the secure protocol is only followed for 4 links. So you can actually locate these links, you know, you can get all these hyperlinks and do whatever you want. So in this locator, I'm saying a tag name has to be A. The attribute href should start with https://. Hope it is clear, you know, how to specify attribute starts with. Is it clear, guys? Yes or no? All right. I see yes from Shrikant, Ashwini, and Sunil, Nayan, Vishali, Prashant. Okay, so I think we can get, you know, continue with more details on CSS. So Prashant, thanks Prashant, Vishwajit. So the syntax is, I will just copy that and say it here. Okay, so all elements whose href attribute is starting with https, the syntax is this. Now I want to find all elements whose href containing some word, you know, blah blah word, you know, some word. So I don't know, but let me check if is word is there in any hyperlink. I want to say that all hyperlinks which contains is word in its href. I don't know how many are there. So let's give a try. I'm saying href. Okay, if you want to say start equal to, you will say cap equal to, but I want to say contains. So it is star equal to for contains. The word I want to search is. So there are 6 elements which are containing is word in their href attribute. So somewhere here you can see that list, you know, is characters are, you know, contained. Go to next. So there is a link relation is equal to something, and you can see that, you know, is is present here. Similarly for others. Okay, there is a hyperlink as well, a tag, and which should be containing is somewhere, Oh, okay, yeah, here it is. So that is the reason this hyperlink was getting selected, because the href contains is, Okay. I hope it is clear. So, oops. Oh, I think, okay. This is a CSS selector, You can have a filter also. You can simply say that, only href tag, only hyperlink tag. So this is second one, which has um, is word, is character, these two character is contain, here contained character here. So that is one. Okay, and let's say I wanted to say that, class is containing something, let's say class is containing number 12. Okay, the class is containing number 12. So for that, again we write a syntax. Class is now considered as an attribute. Class star equal to that number we write and complete square bracket. So there are 28 elements which has number 12 in their class. So you can see these examples. Okay, let's take another example. Now I want to say containing word, so let me see if there is any locator which I can use for checking containing word. So okay, let me use this toggle footer as a word. I want to say a locator that class contains word toggle hyphen footer. Okay, so I'm saying, sorry, class star equal to toggle footer. This is valid, guys. This is valid. How many elements are matching? There are 4 elements matching. You can see that class equal to toggle footer. Yeah, it is containing toggle footer and the toggle footer as well. But I want to say that explicitly word, not just a character, as a contains character. So in that case, we say tilde sign is equal to, I'm saying tilde sign equal to. That means the complete word toggle hyphen footer has to be present. Okay, not just as a string, as a substring. It has to be the complete word toggle hyphen footer. So there are 4 matching elements, as you can see that. Okay, there are 4 matching elements. So this is for contains word. Okay, for contains word we use toggle uh, tilde sign equal to, sorry, tilde sign is equal to the syntax for contains word, star equal to for contains text, not word, I'm sorry, it is for containing text, and cap sign is equal to is for starting with, and there is one more, for ending with. Let's say I want to say that how many URLs are ending with history, let's say this is a hyperlink. I want to say that I want to find, a link which is ending with history word. So just say href dollar equal to, dollar is equal to is for ending with history. Okay, so there is only one hyperlink which is actually ending with history word. Okay, and this is locating that element uniquely. So ends with, example is dollar equal to, so href attribute is ending with history text. Okay, hope it is clear. And only the last part which is remaining from CSS selector is siblings. Okay, so for locating a sibling, let's take some example. Okay. Let me just pick up some example, maybe you can take this specials. Okay, this is also fine, see, I want to look at this first element, now how can I do it? You can, if you try to use directly class name as item, you will find so many elements which are matching with this item. Let me tell you, dot item. So there are 7 elements are matching. I want the first one. So if you want the first one, you can simply say that colon first hyphen child. Okay. So this is only selecting one matching element because I said column dot item colon first child. So it will only select the first child of its parent. Yeah, hope it is clear. Actually I wanted to talk about the sibling. So let's take example. Let me see if this h4 is uniquely identifiable. I'm saying h4. How many h4s are there? Okay, newsletter. The second one is followers. Third one is categories. Fourth one is information. Okay. So let's say I want this fourth element. Okay. So you cannot use nth child 4 because this h1 tag is the first child of selection. This h4 tag, it is like first, second, third, fourth, and okay, select. Okay, this h4 tag is the second child of selection parent tag because select is the parent. It has first child as a ul, second child as h4 tag. Okay, I want h4 tag which is information. So let's find out how to locate this h4 tag. See, this h4 tag is present under social block. This h4 tag is present under a section and the ID is block various links footer. So let me use that ID. It is ID, right? ID starts with hash ID. Is it unique? Yeah, it is unique. And I will say immediate child h4. Can you see that immediate child h4 is getting selected? All right. So immediate child h4 is getting selected. This is unique now. And we already learned that how this is written. Now what we will do is I want to select this next ul. I want this sibling which is after h4. Okay, if you want that sibling, just say plus and write the locator. The tag name is ul. Okay, so by saying plus means the next sibling of that element, and then you have to write the locator. Locator, it means the CSS again. So I'm simply writing ul, or you can say that dot toggle footer, TOGG. Okay, you can simply say that dot toggle footer. Let me paste it here. So till here, it is uniquely locating h4, and I'm saying h4 plus, that means next sibling, which is having a class name as dot toggle footer. So plus is used for locating a next sibling element for CSS. Okay, I hope it is clear. Plus means next sibling. Okay, let's take some other example. Yeah, let's take example form. It is having ID as a layered form. Okay, let's look at that layered form first. How many layered form? There is only one layered form. Okay, sibling means at same level. Yeah, sibling is sibling, right? I mean, having the same parent at the same level, right? Yeah, Prashant. We can use space instead of plus. If you use space instead of plus, space means nested childs. It is not sibling. Plus means siblings. Okay, space means nested childs, not sibling. Space says that childs, not sibling. Okay, don't get confused between that. So I want to say that now see, this is a div. There is an input tag. Okay, so I want to say that form having a div tag and the div's next child input. This is the way I want to select it. So how do I do it? I'm saying immediate child has to be div, and for the div, the next child has to be input. Oh, okay. Actually, you can actually directly say something like this, in my case, or you can use directly ID. This name is equal to ID category layered. This is the best locator, but I just wanted to tell you, how it works. I'm looking for more examples. Okay. So there is a div, says left column. Okay. So let's look at that left column. Okay, it is found, and inside that left column, let's say I'm able to locate the element here, category block left, which is again ID. So I will say space immediate child having ID as category block left, and there I will say plus section. Can you see that this section, can I locate this section by using this plus? Plus means immediate next sibling, let's say if I have written plus for this div tag, that means I'm talking about the next sibling as this div, which is layered block left. So plus means only one next sibling, but you can say that plus star and then plus. If you say plus star plus, that means skip multiple siblings in between. If you say plus star plus, it means you are skipping few siblings and then finding next sibling. That way. So this is one example. You can use actually this also. Hash center column. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, my bad. Actually, that was right, Okay. So when I say plus star plus, that means, see, this is the div. I'm saying plus, that means the next div. And there I said star. Star means any tag name. And two, again, I'm said plus one. That means, sorry, plus section. So jump to the next sibling, and which is section. So this is used to skip a sibling. If I'm saying only one star, that means it will skip only one sibling in between. Hope it is clear. All right. So that is all for today from the CSS selector topic. We are done with basic as well as advanced CSS selectors. Okay, I'm just repeating the last, what I have explained. See, if I'm saying only this locator, that means, locate the element which has ID, ID as category block left. So category block left is selected. Then I said plus star. Plus means next sibling, and star means any tag name. So this div is going to be will be selected. But now what I will say, again I will say plus star. So that means again next sibling. Now what I'm saying plus star, that means the next sibling, that way. Star means any tag actually. So if you want to say specifically some tag name, you can give the tag name or CSS selector. Okay, what was that? Section. So yeah, you can give a tag name or any locator as well as a section having ID or something like that, having class as a block. So I'm saying class, that means dot class as a block. So yeah, that's it. I hope it is clear, and thank you everyone for attending this session. We are done with learning basic CSS selector as well as advanced CSS selector. Guys, CSS selector learning wise, it is easy, but you won't be able to remember it for long term if you're not doing practice. So please do practice on CSS selector. Try to use CSS selector as much as you can. Try in different variations. One element can be located with a multiple locator. Try to find out the possible locators that you can write for that one element, something like that. So that's all for today. Thank you very much, and hope to see you tomorrow. Bye bye.